Are you impressing your interviewer during that live SQL coding portion, or are you accidentally doing the opposite? I've seen a lot of things in interviews over the years, and sometimes I'll see a candidate that tries to get fancy using a more advanced function, like a window function, and something like this will end up happening. Let's say that we have a table of data that looks like this, where the sales month always starts as the first of the month, and then there's a total sales value. During the interview, you're asked to output the sales month and total sales, but then you're also asked to bring over the sales amount that occurred 1 year after the current month. The analyst has heard that window functions are something that advanced data analysts use, so the analyst wants to go through and show off their skills using a window function. So the candidate writes their SQL code, and inside of it, they're going to grab that total sales, the sales month, and then they're going to grab the max month that occurs 12 periods after the current record that we have. Then for their next step, they're just going to take the original sales data, they'll do a self join as a left join, and then they're going to join based on that sales month. When they run this query, they get the result as expected, and they think that they've impressed the interviewer because they used a window function. Unfortunately, they've done the exact opposite, and the interviewer is starting to question how much they know SQL at all. This is because that window function is hard coding a value that's 12 records, or in this case, 12 months out into the future, but that's not always going to be correct. Yes, while a calendar has 12 months in it, and that's always going to be the case, the data may not always get loaded perfectly inside your database. For example, if one of these records was deleted out of the database like this, and then you were to go rerun the function, you're going to have a bug. But because that value is hard-coded, and if the column for same month next year is no longer being displayed, no one's ever going to know. So it'd be a lot simpler and a lot less error-prone to write a piece of SQL code that looks like this. All we have to do is change that join logic and make this an interval function that's being used to conduct the join on, and then we can go back in and modify some of the output field names that we have in the select statement, and that's all there is to it. This is why it's so important to truly understand SQL. In SQL, there's about 5 different ways to do the same thing, and not all are created equal. So if you want in-depth knowledge in real-world training utilizing SQL with the best practices, head over to my website, analyticsmentor.io, or you can check it out in my bio links.